Hey, what's going on, guys? So my name is Ipe. I've been building the rank and rent slash local lead generation business over the last 8 years. I joined a coaching program. I became one of the top students, and today I also promote the coaching program. So over the last 8 years, I learned a thing or two about this business, and in this video, I'm gonna walk you through if I could go back in time and restart my business, my journey all over again, what would I do to make sure that I'm able to quit my job as quickly and as effectively as possible? So, before I go any further, I want to show you a recent testimonial that came in like a few days ago, or I think last week. Here it is by Caleb, March 16th, 2023. So he says, finally did it. I quit my job today, now earning more money than I was at my 9 to 5. And that was only from part time hours dedicated to lead gen. Yes, this was my journey as well. I was working 40 hours a week. Imagine what's capable with full time hours. I can now work from anywhere in the world and on my own hours, which was always my goal. Pierce Sherratt said in my initial call that it only takes 6 months, and he was right. The feeling is fucking unreal. So, I mean, these kind of messages never gets old. It's unbelievable what you can accomplish with this business in just 6 months. Okay, so I want to read you this reply here. So Chris Prowitt goes, "Nice work. Any tips for reaching success in 6 months?" Caleb goes, "The way I did it was I built 10 lead gens and focused all my efforts on getting them ranked. I'm now going to build another 10 to do the same again. I'd recommend focusing on niches that are medium to high ticket. Make sure to pick low hanging fruit and minimize time wasted on ranking markets that are even slightly competitive. The most important thing overall is simply just doing the work. Don't make excuses, just get it done. I tell myself I'm gonna get a new lead gen live this weekend, and I do it. I think it's a good idea to find 2-3 businesses to do SEO for as well in the early days for extra money to fund your lead gens. Yes, 100%. This now I'm gonna expound on what Caleb said because this is exactly kind of what I did to grow my lead generation business. So I've been in this program. We have 7,000 students. I've been in this program since 2014. We've done I think I've been to like 6 different Vegas events. We've done regional events where we went to Miami, we went to New York City, we went to Dallas, LA. So we've held these live events, right, with our students. And over the years, of all the students that I've talked to, I don't think I've ever met anybody that's built at least 10 different lead gen sites and wasn't making any money. So it's one of those things where if you build just one lead gen site and you did something wrong, that lead gen site might not produce, right? But if you build all 10, it's very difficult to fail at all 10, especially when you follow our step-by-step process, because we made it where we teach you exactly how to pick like low-hanging fruit, like not too competitive of a market. So, and we teach you like backlinking skills, some high-level SEO skills, and content writing, that it's almost impossible to fail at all 10 when you follow our process. And so your first task is to build 10 lead gen sites as quickly as possible. And I'm talking to the people that aren't lazy, that's not scared of a little bit of work, that want to quit their job as quickly as possible, right? So to those people, I'd say, I think as soon as you join our program, you should be able to build 10 lead gen sites in 2 weeks. Because the sooner you build all 10, the faster those sites will rank, the faster you'll be able to quit your job. Having lead gen properties that you own and control is the key to your salvation, because once you rank these sites, there's going to be countless of business owners that are going to want to pay and to rent those sites from you. And I only had a job. I only needed to make $3,000 a month, and I was able to quit my job. I don't know how much Caleb had to make, but at 10, even if 50% are successful, you might be making 3 to 5 grand a month passive income. And you know, what's gonna happen when you build 10 is that at first, like maybe 2, 3 lead gen sites might start producing some leads. You might start selling it to a local business owner. At first you might just do a pay per lead kind of model because it's still not ranked at the very top of the search engine, so it's only trickle-in leads, but you can still get paid for those. So let's just say 2, 3 leads or lead gen sites are producing leads, and you are able to sell it to a business owner. You might be making at least $500 across all three to $1,000 in as little as 2 to 3 months. What I want you to do is take that, $500 to $1,000 a month and go hire a virtual assistant. Now, when I did it was I hired a high school writer. I used Craigslist to find a writer and he was in high school, and I paid him like $12, $13 an hour. These days, I understand that you can get a virtual assistant from the Philippines, pay them, $5 to $7 an hour, and you can get some high quality writers. And what this writer is going to do is he's going to help you, she is going to help you write more content on your existing lead gen sites. So you first build 10, and let's say each of these 10 lead gen sites only have about 8 to 10 pages. I want this new writer reinvest that profits and have this writer write more content, more pages on all your existing 10 lead gen sites. And if your budget allows, go ahead and start building more lead gen sites. Because just you guys have to take my word for it on this one, because I've been doing it for 8 years. I'm telling you guys right now, it cannot ever hurt you to build more and more and more of these sites, because time has proven to me that eventually I was able to make some sort of money from majority of the sites that I've built. Majority of the sites that I built at least decent amount of pages for, what a lot of people do is they just kind of like build skeleton sites, like build a site with like 1 page, 2, 3 pages, and they build many of these sites. No, you actually have to continue to build pages on your sites, not forever until it ranks, because you have to actually create an entity, like a web domain that Google sees as valuable. Okay, so don't make the mistake of just building a bunch of sites with only a few pages. Actually go back to some of your sites and build more pages. But again, my point is this: you got to look at each of these lead gen sites as you're building like an army, and you're like the general of the army, right? And so, stop caring so much about like the little details, and just in the beginning, just focus on reps and focus on quantity. And when I say quantity, I'm not only talking about just the quantity of sites, but even building more pages on sites, right? So the point here is you need to produce content, and writing content is a bit time consuming. Yes, there's AI tools out there, but I'm testing different things with AI, obviously, but I don't think as a beginner you should fully rely on AI. I think you can use some of it, but make sure you change up the content quite a bit. I just don't think an AI can still produce, or if you rely too much on AI, I think you run a little bit of a risk there, because there are tools that can detect AI content. So there's no way that, publicly I can recommend people, the masses, to use AI tools, because if all your guys' site gets slapped, then I take the blame, right? So I can't in no way, shape, or form recommend AI tools. It's something that you can take your own risk and try with your own discretion. But the point is, build 10 lead gen sites as quickly as possible. In 2 to 3 months, you should have a few of those sites starting to make money for you. Take that money, whether it's $500 to $1,000 a month in extra income, and get a VA writer as quickly as possible, because then now you're writing content, the VA's writing content, you just cloned yourself, and you want to just become a master content producer. Obviously there's like backlinks and different things like that you'll learn, but just become a master mass producer of content, because there's a huge gaping glaring weakness in the local space, is that nobody is producing high level content. No small businesses are updating their content. A lot of times their content is like aged, really old, and nobody's producing new content or freshening up their site. That's a weakness that you can take full advantage of, but it's difficult to do by yourself, right? You need more writers. Okay, like I have a big giant business of like not only building lead gen sites, but I have a blog, right? I have 25 writers. It's a whole army of us writing content each and every day and putting it out there into Google to index. So I can go much more in detail as to why that's so powerful, but just understand that in local, nobody's producing high level information. So if you become the master of producing high level information in local, you can really dominate. And Google looks at quality of information, freshness of the information, and also the velocity of information. So meaning how often is the site updating its content. I just gave you guys three massive keys there. And in local, a lot of the local companies are not doing one or all three of those things. So if you can become the master on dominating those things, you can dominate the local search engine. And when you dominate the local search engine, forget just quitting your job. You'll be able to quit your job in 6, 7, 8 months, but you can now create a passive income business that has high profit margin. It's highly scalable. Our lead gen sites, once it's ranked, maybe the maintenance on it is $30 to $50 a month. And these sites make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 to $3,000 a month. That's literally 95% and plus profit margin. Why is profit margin so important in a business? Because when you have a slim profit margin, like in e-commerce, you're selling physical products, which is like low profit margin, or a very easy way to understand is like a restaurant business, really slim profit margin. Why is having a high profit margin important? Because when you have a business that's slim profit margin, you don't have enough profit margin to do marketing or to grow the business. Okay, so if your profit margin at a restaurant is like 10%, you're gonna have to save up maybe 10 years worth of income from that restaurant to be able to have enough money to open up a new restaurant. Okay, so for 10 years, you're stuck doing the restaurant business and your income is not growing. That's like almost like having a job again. Okay, the reason why lead generation business is so exciting and we get excited going to work every day for our business is because it has high profit margin, which gives us enough room to hire VAs, reinvest the money back into the business to grow the business so that our business is constantly growing. This kid joined 6 months ago and he already was able to quit his job. Imagine where he's going to be in another 6 months because he doesn't have a job anymore. So he can fully, focus his time on it. He's going to be able to hit 10K a month in the next 6 months. Okay. In another 6 months, he'll probably hit 20K if he stays the course. Okay. Because it's exponential growth, because as you hit 5K a month, 10K a month, when you hit 10K a month, now you can hire like 7 virtual assistants. When you hit 15, you can hire 14 virtual assistants. Like, it's exponential rate of acceleration. This is what makes lead generation one of my favorite, and I fully stand behind this business model because we're selling information. Like, it's literally like selling crack. Like, information, that's what my friend Damien said the other day. Like, lead generation is like selling dope, or it's like the new oil, because information, like, remember, Facebook is selling information, Google is selling information, all these tech companies, how were they able to grow to become such giants and so quickly is because information is the new oil. It has no overhead. It is infinitely scalable, highly profitable, and it doesn't. There's no like things about it that like slow you down. Like you know, if when you're selling e-commerce, like no matter how you dice it, like there are things that of like supply chain and customer service and inventory that does like slow you down. I'm not saying e-commerce is a bad business. There's a lot of potential in it too if you do it right with the right marketing, the right branding, etc. But you know, I would say for majority of you guys, e-commerce is still pretty challenging because it's such a low margin. Um, you can't afford to make as much mistake like when you like lead gen when you have like 95% profit margin. So um, yeah, let me just conclude this kind of video by saying become the master of content creation in the local space and you will dominate local lead generation. In order to master content creation, you need a team of content producers, okay? So I want you to focus on duplicating yourself. I don't want you to stop writing content, but I want you to create a team, an army of VAs that can also write content. So that's going to be my new advice for 2023. Focus on building big authoritative sites. And we've all heard it before, content is king. Backlink is also great, but more important than backlink is content. And obviously picking the right niches, the right targets. Because if you pick the wrong target, you could waste a lot of resources and a lot of time because you picked a niche that's too competitive. So make sure you don't do that. But yeah, other than that, I wanted to kind of make this video because that testimonial came in and it really kind of reminded me of the power of owning digital assets that you own and control that nobody can take away from you. Obviously, if you're really good at sales, then you can go that route too. You can go the route of prospecting and closing business owners and turning them into SEO clients and then slowly turning them into lead gen clients. I still think that for most beginners, instead of it, like when you run out of money for the month, when you run out of budget, yes, go do prospecting and go do sale and go try to close business owners and try to pitch them SEO services so you can get some money when you run out of budget. But make sure every month when you have that budget that you are deploying that money into producing more lead gen assets that you own and, you know, hiring people, other people to write content so you can get more content out there. Because here's what's amazing about writing content. It's free, okay? To take a web page, a website, a web domain from 10 pages to 30 pages, it's not going to cost you any more money. You're already paying $15 to $20 a month for the web hosting and the tracking phone number. So that's your cost. It's not going to cost you anymore to take that site from 10 pages to 30 pages to 50 pages. So like how amazing is that, right? That's where the leverage lies, is that it doesn't cost anymore to own like a 50-page site versus a 10-page site. So this tells you, and a 50-page site is going to have a way better chances of ranking and dominating and getting more traffic than a 10-page site. It's just logics, okay? Because those 10 pages versus 50 pages are going to produce a lot more keywords. In the beginning, you don't have that much money. You have a limited budget. So you have to look at leverage points that allows you to scale for free. And that's what producing content allows. It allows you to scale the business. This is why internet businesses are incredible, because it has these opportunities where it allows you to scale at no cost. Making YouTube videos, same thing, like no cost. Doesn't cost you to film videos and putting it out there on the internet. Same with the local lead generation. It doesn't cost you any more money to produce a piece of article and placing it on your lead gen site. Now, there are some costs to build a new site because you have to pay like $8 to $15 a month in hosting and whatnot for each site. Again, those costs are pretty much nothing compared to what these sites will make for you. But yeah, just I'm gonna end it there, guys. That's the biggest lever that you can pull in the lead gen space. Produce content. It's free. It's free. So because it's free, but you have limited time. So if you can afford it, you want to hire a VA, another writer, for as soon as possible. And these writers you can hire for like $500 to $1,000 a month. I know there's services out there where you can buy articles, but those are gonna run you more expensive, right? When you hire a writer for $500 to $1,000 a month, you can train them, and they'll keep writing content for you at that price point. Yeah, that's my biggest tip for you to grow your rank and rent local lead generation business as fast as possible and to kill your job as quickly as possible. Hope you like this video. See you guys on the next one.